Hi, and welcome to this news edition of Tourismus Namibia, where we bring you topics and obviously a couple of ideas under destinations. And then obviously we also go to the point and have a look at something special on that side. So first up under topics today, we'll bring you some background about the Elephant Day that took place yesterday, and then after that, we have a bit of a look at Swakopmund. They're obviously still having a bit of a feast down there. This was a light show for 130 years of existence of Swakopmund. After that, we'll have a look at this ban that is threatening Namibia. That's a ban on trophies and that sort of export activity that's so vitally important for us. Under destinations today, we have a look at Kratzplatz, and I'll explain more about what that is all about. A nice place in Lüderitz. And then we also have a look at the Etuna Guesthouse in Ongwediva, as you can see here, posing nicely for us, and but a very nice place, very close to Ongwediva Trade Fair. And then we, last but not least, to the point, we look at the South Luangwa Park. Quite a nice little thingy that I was able to pick up there, and that's obviously done as part of our idea to promote 10 degrees south. So more about that later on. My name is Frank Steffen. I'm the editor of the Allgemeine Zeitung, but obviously also responsible for Tourismus Namibia, and I hope to give you some entertainment for the next hour almost. First up, we obviously will have a look at the topics. Right, welcome back. Topics, obviously, and this week we had quite a number of World Days of this, that, and another. On Tuesday we had the World Day for Indigenous People. Then on Thursday we had the Day of the Lions, and we obviously talk about the lions often in here. So today I'm focusing a bit on the World Day of the Elephant, or World Elephant Day as it's simply called. It's an international event which has been agreed on that it will always be on the 12th of August, dedicated to the preservation and protection of the world's elephants, obviously. Conceived in 2011 by Canadian filmmakers Patricia Sims and Michael Clark of what is called Canas West Productions, Pictures in fact. And then it was Sivaporn Dandarananda. He's the Secretary General of the Elephant Reintroduction Foundation in Thailand. And it was officially founded and supported and launched by Patricia Sims and the Elephant Reintroduction Foundation on August 12, 2012. So quite a nice date there. Since that time, Patricia Sims continues to lead, support and direct World Elephant Day, which is now recognized and celebrated by over 100 wildlife organizations and many individuals in countries across the globe. And I actually found a video by the World Wildlife Fund. It dates back to 2018, but it's still relevant. Yeah, right. Those were our elephants, and obviously, they've just said there in the video, make sure that you don't buy elephant ivory, but the same accounts for lion bones and rhinoceros powder and all this sort of stuff that we know is ongoing throughout the world all the time, especially Vietnam. We know that there's a big problem on that side. But then we had Swakopmund municipality. They this week obviously continued to have their anniversary celebrations. Here you can see they've got quite an intensive program going on down there. So that's Swakopmund's 130th anniversary. They go through until the end of the month. You can see it goes up to the 27th, where finally they will have a music festival. But in the meantime, they also had a light show last week, and I thought I'd just bring you that highlight of what they posted on their Facebook. Yeah, quite a nice little show there, and I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I. So Swakopmund, like I said, is still having its festivities going on until the end of the month. Up next, ban on trophies. Now, this is quite a serious development. I just sort of brought these maps into the conversation because, according to the environmental minister, Pohamba Shifeta, European hunters account for more than half of Namibia's total hunting revenue. So in 2019, a total of 5,001 trophy hunters visited Namibia to hunt. According to Shifeta, German tourists or hunters were the most represented, with a total of 1,792 hunters. That's 36% of the total, followed by the US with 934, which accounts for roughly 19% of the hunters, and then Austria with 378 people, which is roughly 7%. So however, the number of trophy hunters in the country decreased to 871 in 2020 due to COVID-19, obviously. So last year, the number increased again to 2,587, which is obviously good news, even though it's only halfway. German hunters were again the most represented, followed by the US, and the third place this time was Hungary. They now suddenly account for 6% of the hunters, being 146 people. So the point is simply, Shifeta said some initiatives are on the way to ban trophy imports in the UK, Belgium and Finland. And prior to these developments, France and the Netherlands also introduced restrictions and bans on the import of certain hunting trophies. And now what the environmental minister says is that municipalities generated about 150 million in cash and other benefits in 2020 alone. And about 30% of this revenue comes from hunting, also known as trophy hunting, and the rest from phototourism and other nature-based businesses. Now, the reason why I showed you all those maps was simply to illustrate how much income, number one, is being generated, but then also to simply show that this is not a trade that is just carrying on and nobody really cares how it's done. Now, I know that I often on the show have criticized the way that we manage it, but generally speaking, we're not bad. So all that we're on about normally is about how to improve it. And what worries me a bit is it's the old story that I've always said. If I've got somebody who's got a farm on here and he's got X number of cattle there and he's been making a living even throughout COVID-19, I've got another guy who's got a farm over here. He's always been listening to us saying, look, we need to look after our elephants, lions and whatever. And so he's done so diligently. And now after a couple of years we say, but he can't use them sustainably. So sustainable hunting is suddenly off the map. So how does he live? How does he make a living? From the few tourists that come to his conservancy once a year or once in their lifetime, for a matter of fact. So it is only a matter of time if we don't allow our people to continue with a conservancy program where sustainable hunting is allowed. It might need better administration and better management. That's on another page. But if we simply disregard this and say, okay, it's all off the table, well, guess what? Then the elephant and lion is sure to disappear, because then there is no financial interest for that person to maintain. Just to have national parks and say, look, we've got 28 national parks in our country, are we not great? That does not cut it. Our people need to be able to have a sustainable living from these lands. So in Europe, there's hardly anything left, probably because it was managed wrongly. So if we so far have actually done quite well with it, then at least support us instead of just saying, no, this is off the table. So I'm not into this banning of trophies. I'm not a hunter myself. I'm not into that thing, but there are people who do, and it serves a purpose in order to give our people a basis on which they have some income. So I tend to agree with the minister. If this sort of thing is banned in Europe altogether, then we in Namibia have a very, very hard time waiting for us. Anyway, those are our topics for today. Up next, we've got destinations. Yeah, welcome back. Destinations, like I said, destinations, we always try and give different offers simply because there's so much in Namibia. But this time we've got an interesting contribution by Monique Adams, and she visited Kratzplatz in Lüderitz. Now here you can see Lüderitz, clearly that's the road leading towards the coast from Keetmanshoop into Lüderitz, and we've spoken about Lüderitz quite often, obviously. There you can roughly see where Kratzplatz is found. The reason why I showed it is just to explain to you, it's smack bang in the middle of the town. Here on the left-hand side, you see Waterfront Conference Center. You will remember earlier in the year we spoke about Han and having its conference down there. That was the Hospitality Association. And they're just around the corner from this place. And this is the entrance on the one side. And then on the other side of the road, you still have the barrel. This is here, well, barrels. And this is where the restaurant and bar is. Very nice place. I've been to it and I've had a real good time there when we did the Han conference earlier in the year. And the guest house started in 1993 with only 5 bedrooms or 5 rooms, and is located in one of the oldest buildings in Lüderitz. So it's quite nice. And there's a bit of background to Kratzplatz, because it's a play on words in German, obviously. It's Kratz, those are the people who own the place, family Kratz. And Kratzplatz is when you itch, that's where you start itching all over then that's Kratzplatz. But obviously it's just a play on words. Anyway, they brought us a video and have a look at it.
Welcome back to Tourismus. My name is Monique Adams and I'm the South correspondent for Namibia Media Holdings. Today we get to take a look at the famous Kratzplatz and Barrel House situated in Lüderitz. So let's get right into it.
This is the entryway of the Kratzplatz accommodation in Lüderitz, and as you enter you can see it's filled with trees, flowers, beautiful plantation, giving off a very forestry and eccentric energy. Now we head upstairs where we take a look at a room tour of one of the 3 rooms upstairs, which is room number 12. Okay, so this is the entrance. This is the door to my room, and if you move the side you immediately see my bed. This is my bed, and I already hanged my jacket and my coat, and right in front of the bed is the TV and a fan, and in this cupboard we have the fridge. There's currently nothing in there, so yeah. And right next to the TV we have a little coffee station. This is what it's looking like. I have my straightener heating up there because I'm about to straighten like a hairpiece. This is closet space, hangers, another one. We have drawers. We have 4 drawers here, empty. I'm thinking of unpacking my clothes later. So yeah, that's my bed, and this is my bathroom. Then we have the shower. It's a whole stone effect, guys. And then we have the toilet. So yeah, this is my room. The Kratzplatz accommodation is an ideal getaway for families and friends. The rooms at Kratzplatz provide a refrigerator, and getting online is easy with free Wi-Fi available. In addition, Kratzplatz offers an on-site restaurant which will help make your Lüderitz trip additionally gratifying. And as an added convenience, there is free parking available to guests. While you're here, be sure to check out Barrel's Restaurant and Bar, one of the pubs that can be found in Lüderitz, which is a short distance from Kratzplatz.
Kennis, my naam is Bali van Kratzplatz in Barrels. Barrels is 'n baie bekende plek in Lüderitz. As 'n restaurant en 'n bar. Alex was 'n bar en is 'n partyplek soos 'n kuier. So ek is nou eintlik van sinds 2013 as ek hier so by Kratzplatz, en is baie lekker, is 'n baie lekker plek. Kuier lekker, geniet dit. Vir almal ken, die hele Bogters ken alles. So ons is baie bekend, die beste bekendnis van onze plek is eintlik Barrels Kratzplatz. Ons is baie bekend aan ijsbeins. Ons maak die beste ijsbeins in die hele wêreld. Kom ek breek maar, as ek maar sê, en ek doen dit. Ja, maar ja, ons kry alle mense van Germany af en die hele mense, ons is well known vir Suid-Afrika en alles. So baie bekend is 'n tuisplek. Ons maak die beste goed is eintlik we do it our way. So ons het ons eie spesiale resep wat ons maar net ons style doen. So old school en new school gemix, verstaan jy? Ja.
En hoeveel kamers het Kratzplatz?
En daar kom ons is en ons het Barrels Kratzplatz. Kratzplatz is die gastehuis. En die gastehuis is baie bekend ook en is baie mooi kamers. Ons het 12 kamers. En ons het 'n self-catering ook. Self-catering is nou amper soos 200 meters weg van die plek af. Anderste, maar daar's baie lekker en daar's 'n groot huis en daar's alles is self-catering daar aan die kant. So die beste plek en is die beste plek, maar kom ek sê maar is die beste plek om te bly in Lüderitz.
En hoe het julle gesurvive wat COVID aangekom het?
COVID, Jesus, my ding, is 'n baie goeie vraag. As jy 'n boegter is, ons survive alles. Ons is nie maklik nie. Vir Kratzplatz, ons het baie mense, baie werkers verloor in COVID en alles. Ons het baie swaar gekry, ons het dit gekom. Maar ja, was bietjie tough, maar ja, ons survive nou, dit kom nou weer goed raak weer by mekaar soos gewoonlik. Dis wat is.
En wat is die beste aande om na die barrels toe te kom, sal jy sê? Is dit elke dag of sal jy sê Vrydag?
Vir ons is elke dag. Elke dag. Elke dag is 'n reendag. Maak nie saak nie, as jy wil voel enige tyd wat jy kom, jy is baie welkom. En ons sal dit doen, ons maak seker jy geniet dit.
Enige ander woorde wat jy sal sê vir die kykers wat nou kyk en ja.
Vir die kykers wat kyk, ek sê kom maak 'n draai by barrels. Ons maak maandag tot Vrydag oop.
Hoe laat?
Van 6:00 af namiddag. As jy daar tyd kom, ons reserve die tafels hier, maar at least being there, the early the better. Things happen. Kom kyk maar, ek sal nie baie sê nie. Kom en geniet.
Beautiful, amazing, eccentric place. Definitely a place to check out when you find yourself traveling to Lüderitz. Well, that has brought us to the end of today's Tourismus video. Catch you again next time. Goodbye.
Right, and that's Kratzplatz. Like I said, one should remember it's Kratzplatz and then obviously barrels. So if you book into that area, it's a real family business. And like I said, I've stayed there before and I enjoyed every second of it. And I go there when I'm down in Lüderitz in the evenings. That's typically where I would also be found sooner or later. Up next, we've got the Etuna Guesthouse. Etuna Guesthouse was, some of you might still remember Desiree Chassis. She presented the show together with me some months ago. And Etuna Guesthouse is in Ongwediva. Here you can see it a bit better. Ongwediva obviously being quite close to Oshakati. And the important part is it's right next door to the Ongwediva Trade Fair grounds. Here on the picture you can see the Trade Fair grounds, and then just around the corner is the Etuna Guesthouse. We brought you a couple of photos here just to make sure that you know more or less what you're into. Ongwediva, obviously a very nice place up there in the north. And on their page, they've actually said, how are we different? We offer you a taste of genuine Northern Namibian hospitality. In Oshivambo, Etuna means he is taking care of us. And here at Etuna, we turn it into practice by making our guests feel at home. And how they put it is your house away from home. So it's not the old cliche home away from home, it's your house. So it's the whole 9 yards is yours to enjoy. But let's have a look at the video that Desiree prepared for us.
Hello viewers, welcome to Etuna Guesthouse. Etuna Guesthouse was founded by Ms. Ndambelela Nekwaya.
Good day, viewers, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Desiree Gassis, and today we are in Ongwediva at Etuna Guesthouse, a lovely guest house, I must say. But as you can see, I am joined by a lovely blonde lady, and she's going to introduce herself.
Good morning, viewers. I am Hilka Nekwaya, and I am one of the managing members here at the Etuna Guesthouse.
All right. Okay, Hilka, tell us a bit about the background of Etuna Guesthouse. You know, when it started, who's the founder, basically who started the guest house, you know?
Yes. So Etuna Guesthouse started in actually 2006.
Oh, wow.
Yes, 2006, way back. And Etuna started with only 4 rooms, and currently we are having 35 rooms.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Tell me a bit about, when somebody hears Etuna's guest house, what can you expect? Like, what are some of the things you guys offer other than accommodation?
Okay. We do have a restaurant and we do customized tours. So if a customer wants here and they want to travel somewhere, we do customized tours. We also have conference facilities. So if a guest wants to host events, we do cater for such events. And we also have a camping site. So the camping site can also be used for quite a various events, including camping events like, a party, a private party. No one wants to be sitting under a tree and everyone is driving by and they can see you. So we have a campsite that is private and yeah.
Okay, so I mean, as you guys can probably see, they do have a lovely, lovely pool here. So if I want to host like a nice birthday party or maybe even a baby shower or like a bridal shower, maybe wife to be, so I can come host it here.
Of course, I think Etuna Guesthouse will be the right place to host that event. As our service is also very custom made. Let's say what is your menu, we'll cater our menu according to your needs, to your wants. We don't have like a fixed menu that, okay, everyone is going to have this. So we have different clients from different backgrounds and, everyone have different preferences. Yes. So we are very flexible to cater to everyone's different needs. That's why our service is very customized.
Okay, that's lovely to hear. So Hilka, when COVID-19 hit us, I think one of the industries that was touched the most by the effects of COVID-19 was definitely the tourism industry. So how would you say now that, I think the regulations are somewhat almost back to normal, how would you say the clientele has picked up relative to the time where COVID-19 hit us and, we had to wear masks, in certain areas there had to be an X amount of people only, so how has the clientele picked up relative to, when COVID-19 restrictions were harsh?
Yeah, during the COVID-19 restriction, it was really harsh for our business, considering we had to turn away actually people even for conferences because we had to consider social distancing. Yes. So that really had to put a strain on the business. And also we had to be creative, put some measures so we can keep running. We had to tailor-make our business so people don't have to sit and gather, that people can, food can be takeaways, and we had to do that. And now the economy still looks down, so it's slowly picking up, but surely we are looking forward to the recovery of the economy.
I think as long as there's a glimmer of hope, a little light at the end of the tunnel, I think as long as there's that, I think one can keep pushing. Is there anything, actually, if somebody wants to know where they can find you guys, whether that's on social media or something, give us a bit of like information, where can somebody find you just to see maybe some pictures, some videos, or, or more information on Etuna Guesthouse?
Okay, we do have a Facebook page running, and we do also have a page on Instagram, and then we also have a website. So that is where mostly you can find us, and we're also on booking.com. Yeah, we're also on booking.com. But location-wise, we're situated in Ongwediva, next to the Ongwediva Trade Fair Center, close to Oshana Mall.
Ooh, so this is probably the most perfect location if you are coming to the Ongwediva Trade Fair, because this is literally right across the street.
Exactly. It is in walking distance. So no one is going to struggle with parking in the queue. You're just going to leave your car here at Etuna Guesthouse and then you walk over. You don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, the traffic it gets crazy. The traffic gets crazy. So if you booked at Etuna Guesthouse, you're just going to be walking like smoothly, and you can walk to the mall
As well.
as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Hilka. I think definitely for those people who had no idea about Etuna Guesthouse or guest house like this in Ongwediva, definitely have a bit more insight. And if they are going to be joining the Ongwediva Trade Fair, you know exactly what number to call, or not what number to call, what guest house to call if you want, convenience at its best. Thank you so much for joining us. And that is it from Hilka and I.
Ciao.
Right, and that was Etuna Guesthouse, and that's the end of our destinations for today. Up next, we've got To The Point. Yeah, and To The Point, as always, I try to mix it up a bit and have something different each week. And this week I thought under our program that we call 10 Degrees South, where we obviously bring you more news and stuff of places outside Namibia, I thought I'd introduce you to the South Luangwa Park. Luangwa is obviously a river, but here you can see on the Zambian map, you can see all the various national parks that they've got. You've got Kafue, which is probably the biggest one. And then on the right-hand side of the right-hand kidney, you see Luangwa. And Luangwa, if we have a look here, this is where I'm taking you, to South Luangwa, because you obviously also get North Luangwa. And the Luangwa River is actually quite a long river. It's something like 750 k's down to the Zambezi. And what makes it interesting is the fact that it's one of the 4 biggest rivers of Zambia, and it originates in the Lilonda and Mafinga hills in northeast Zambia, basically on the northwestern end of Lake Malawi. And it is a water divide of less than 60 kilometers breadth that causes it to not run into Lake Malawi, but rather westwards towards the Zambezi, 700 kilometer further south. So you could actually see there that I showed you also the trip from Katima Mulilo going up. There you can either go past Luanda, or you can, Lusaka. If you look at the map here, you've got the choice. You can go top up to Kafue National Park and then towards Lusaka, or you take the bottom one where you first drive to Livingston over at Victoria Falls. You can have a look at the falls. You can obviously mix it up, either go one way up the first time, come back the other way the second time. But as you can see, it's quite a hefty distance, 1,400 kilometers almost. But if that's what you want to do, if you come down from Luangwa Park down to Namibia, you would enter Katima, and then you would go on to Bobata and all those places, or otherwise do it the other way around. For locals who want to go to Malawi, that might actually be quite a nice little option. But I also brought you a video. Have a look.
In the heart of the picturesque and pristine Luangwa Valley, South Luangwa National Park is Zambia's flagship wildlife destination and is sometimes referred to as Africa's last great wilderness. Bordered by the snaking body of the Luangwa River to the south, the park is well known for its predators, which include lion, leopard, hyena, and the critically endangered wild dog. In particular, it's perhaps the best national park in Africa to see leopard, hence its nickname, the Valley of the Leopard. Elephants, giraffe, and large herds of buffalo are equally abundant within the park and are also regular visitors to some of the camps, villages, and small towns on the opposite side of the river. The life-giving river itself is home to one of the continent's largest hippo and crocodile populations, as well as a vibrant array of bird life, including a number of rare species. Heading north of the riverbank, the park comprises a range of vegetation and landscapes, including dense ebony forests, high mountain escarpments, and vast open plains. Much of this large wilderness area remains relatively unexplored by tourists, and it's not unusual to have spectacular sightings all to yourself when on a game drive. For an even more intimate bush experience, South Luangwa is the undisputed home of the famous and exhilarating walking safari, a tradition pioneered by Norman Carr in the 1960s that has lost none of its romantic allure today. Another unique factor of South Luangwa is its close relationship with the local Zambians, who have retained a strong sense of tradition and identity despite the growth of tourism over the years, and whose settlements, lives, and culture are still intricately woven into the natural fabric of the valley. There is a vast range of accommodations in and around the park from which to enjoy all that this magical part of Zambia has to offer. So visit South Luangwa now and experience safari exactly as it should be.
Right, and that was South Luangwa Park in Zambia, and I thought hopefully we can entice you to maybe use Namibia as a springboard into Central Africa, or it's not really Central Africa, but it's the center of Southern Africa, and visit a different place. I've been to Zambia, so I can talk of experience. I love the place. There's no other way around it. And the people, I really treasure Zambians. So I much love the way that they welcomed me into their country and the offer that they have there. Yes, I know some stuff is not quite on the same standard as we would probably love it to be, but generally speaking, a very, very nice place to visit. So if next time you want to go to such places, I'm not downplaying Zimbabwe, but everybody always goes Vic Falls and then they turn around. Zambia is a very nice choice, and it's got very certain, the areas in certain places pretty much reminds you of Namibia as you go from one place to the next, except that in that center, Kafue, and those areas, you've got much, much more water. I mean, these guys have water. We Namibians don't know what water is, but they do. So Zambia, really nice place to go and visit. Anyway, that's the end of our show today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I liked presenting it. And I hope you still have a nice weekend ahead of you, and obviously an even better week ahead of you. Until then, we'll see each other in a week's time again. Hopefully I'll have good news for you then as well. Remain healthy, look after yourself, and we see each other in a week.